take the chance. Get up and do the good body dance.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yo, I nailed that. But yo, welcome to Roto Slappers Fantasy Football. Exclusively right here on the Bloodline Entertainment Network. I had to do it. I figured we'd start with a little laugh, a little chuckle.
That was good. You got me good. I don't know if you saw me down there, but I was laughing my ass off. I was like, what the fuck am I watching right now, dude?
I go to the depths of corny 90s to pull out to make sure that we have the best commercials out there for Roto Slappers.
That was good, bro.
But yeah, welcome. It's Monday night. We're doing fantasy football. It's the wide receiver preview. Whew, the next biggest position in fantasy football. I'm excited. How are you doing?
Good, man. I'm fucking feeling real good. Thanks for, I guess, having me back on your show. Our show, I guess, fantasy football wise, but excited to be back here. Last week was a fucking blast, bro. We slayed that running back show. If you didn't catch it, go back and watch what we did last week. Streets and I tore it up, man. We gave our tiers, breakouts, busts. Oh, it was a blast, bro. It was a blast. I look forward to doing it tonight.
Yeah, wide receivers. If you need any help for your running back thought process, draft strategy, anything you need, go back. You can find it on the YouTube page, which you should be, if you're watching here, make sure you click like and subscribe below. You could find it on the website, a link to it if you want to watch that video, bloodlinenetwork.com, any major audio platform, whatever. It's all there. Either way, go listen to it because it will help you prep for your draft. We broke down running backs through the top 50, basically. Gave you some tiers, some what to do with when to draft them, breakouts, bust, everything possible. So it was fun. Now I hope we can repeat it and give you everything that you need for wide receivers also.
Let's go, baby. I'm excited. And I guess
there's a lot. This one's a tough one because of 50 running backs. There's like 100 wide receivers. So
what's kind of funny? I only went to 48 wide receivers. I didn't even make it past 50. I said, I'm only going to 48. I'm going to go top four rounds of wide receivers, basically. And I cut it. I cut it there. How far did you go?
Well, technically, if we needed to, I got to take him. I forgot to take Tim Patrick out. But by the way, once again, bloodlinenetwork.com, you can go see my rankings right there. And I ranked wide receivers up to 100. So if we needed to get to 100 tonight, we could. But I don't think we really need to because we'll get some sleepers in towards the end there. I always say if it's a redraft league, 14 rounds, once you hit round 10, take the guys you like, the ones you have conviction on anyway. So it's not really bad picks once we get past 50. It's kind of just who's your guy? And you just go get your guy after we get out of the top 50 wide receivers. So, but I'm ready. So I got about 48, 52 we can talk about.
My man. And you said bloodlinenetwork.com, and that is a perfect transition. While you guys are all watching right now, which we appreciate, we're going to get to that comment section momentarily. Please go ahead and hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. And like I always say, I know when Streets is on, you want to watch him. Sometimes you might not always want to watch us, though. Sometimes you want to listen to us. Put Bloodline Entertainment Network into your search bar, and you can listen to us. Spreaker, Spotify, Apple Music, iHeartMusic. We got the audio exclusive. Get it off your chest. Episode 3 just dropped today. Go listen to our tribal chief. See what he's got going on. Great shows. We have Sandlot Dirt on there, Streets and Blake. So we got the audio. Go and check out the audio. And also when you put that name into your search bar, bloodlinenetwork.com is going to pull up, like Street said, his fantasy articles, sports, wrestling, entertainment, all our videos, all our audio, our merch, everything we do, all under one roof. So appreciate you guys checking all that out. And we already appreciate everyone in the comments. Let's get to them before we get into it. Big props right here. Throw your ones up for Dylan. Just got done with Dome Field Advantage, his first show on the Bloodline Entertainment Network. Well done, my dude. Great stuff. Thanks for tuning in. My boy, Justin Time, man. Miss you, dude. Thanks for tuning in. Tribal Chief, I just was talking about you. Thank you for tuning in, my brother. Thank you for being here. Courtney, what is up, girl? How are you doing? Hope you're having a great night. Thank you for tuning in and being here. Are your ones up? Ben Buster. Check out Graydon tomorrow night. Director's Cut. Best movie reviewer around town. The Bangers. Roto Slappers, Toto Slappers. Whatever you want to call it. Our boy Nick in the house. Keep them ones up for our boy Nick, Universal Wrestling Podcast. The Streets always says, the man who makes this show look so damn good. And yeah, hell yeah, right there with you, Courtney. Great show, Dylan. Everyone give Dylan mad props for that. Hell of a show, bro. Great debut, man. Streets, without further ado, let's get into it, baby.
We got a lot to get into tonight, so we won't fiddle around with a bunch of nonsense, although I almost derailed us with the comedy in the beginning, but that was good. But wide receivers. So let's get this started. I know how you're going to do it. You're going to do it wrestling style. So in honor of you tonight, actually, because I knew I'm just going to copy you. We're just going to go, I'll say the same thing, main event, everything that we do. We'll just call our tiers almost the same. But in honor of that is there's actually two reasons. We'll get to the other reason way later at the end of this, because there's a reason why I wore this shirt besides that. But I had to wear a wrestling shirt tonight to do that. So it's a dual reason shirt, but I did rock the NW Wolfpack shirt tonight.
Yo, that's my favorite. You got too sweet me if you're gonna throw it out. Boom, there you go. That was my favorite.
Stay tuned for later, because I think you're gonna understand why I wore it.
Oh, all right. I like it. But the Wolfpack was the best, man. It was the best faction around town, no doubt.
But yeah, you want to start it? Wide receivers, tier 1.
Yeah, sure. Main eventers. There's only 2 main eventers. I think with running backs, I had 3 main eventers or 4 main eventers, but there's only 2 main eventers at the wide receiver position. It's very simple. It's Justin Jefferson. It's Jamar Chase. That's that. 2 main eventers. What do you got?
Yeah, they are the main event. The showstoppers themselves. Those 2 are by far. It's tough, but I do have 4 in my top tier. So that my main eventers are actually, I get it. And Justin, JJ, and Chase are top 4 picks in your draft. You're taking them, a lot are just taking them 1 and 2 with the running back landscape. Just say that. I'm taking Jefferson 1. I'll take Chase 2. Call it, I know what I'm getting out of that. The Burrow injury, maybe a little worries you. No, not too, if he's there by week 4, it probably doesn't matter too much. But I have Kupp and Hill also in my top tier. CooperKupp points per game actually led all 4 of them last year when he went down and got hurt. We know it's going to happen. Stafford's there. Going to pepper him. I know that Kupp got the hamstring thing, that he's a little soft tissue injury there, but it looks like a grade 1. He should be there week 1. All signs are pointing to that. They're going to be cautious with him in the preseason. So yeah, I still have Kupp there. I'm actually keeping him in a league with a 2nd-round pick. That's how all in on CooperKupp I am to repeat those points per games again. So I do have him with Chase and Jefferson. So those are my 4 main eventers.
Yeah,
Hill obviously not allowed to talk about with Hill, but TyreekHill is a monster. So
yeah, if I thought Kupp was going to stay healthy, I would have put him in that main event here, because you're right, PPG, he's a machine. But you're already talking about CooperKupp being injured. I'm good, man. I'm good.
I know, but it's when it comes to camp, they're always cautious with these guys. Like a little tweak, they're not going to play then again for a little while. Like they're just going to sit them. Preseason's too long. Camp and preseason's just way too long.
No, I understand. I don't know, man.
Like if he's there week 1, I'm good with it. And there's no
something got me feeling some sort of a way with him. Right when I heard that injury, I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know, but I'll go with the upper mid card, and obviously leading it off is going to be CooperKupp. So I guess at the end of the day, he's still number 3 when it's all said and done. TyreekHill, number 4. CeeDeeLamb, number 5. AJ Brown, Stephon Diggs, DavanteAdams, all upper mid-carders. I got 6 total in there, making it 8 total. And yeah, Blake, I did this again. I got it on the pen and paper for you. So that's how I'm doing it. Yeah, I got 8 total right now. I got Kupp, Hill, Lamb, AJB, Diggs, and Adams in this tier.
I would have probably my upper mid carders would, let's see. We're going to be close. A little different though. I'll keep. You went up to 8, so up to 8 for me would be Diggs at 5. Well, I have him 5th, top 5 in every wide receiver statistical category. A year ago, I don't see that changing too much. He's still Josh Allen's guy. Not a whole mess of competition. We'll see if Gabe Davis can erupt. Kincaid. Either way, going to be just a target hog again this year in that offense. 6, I have Lamb. I think he'll be okay. I know we got the new Schottenheimer's taking over there. They lose Kellen Moore. That kind of sucks. I don't think they're really going to become some run team, like run heavy. They're not at all. So stop that nonsense.
He's going to be a target hog, dude.
So they're still going to throw the football a ton. So he'll be a monster. And at 7, I actually have the sun god. Amon-Ra St. Brown is my number 7 wide receiver this year. I really tried to get him higher. There's part of me just wants to move him into like 6 or 5. That's how I am on him this year. I can't put him ahead of Diggs, though. I can't. Maybe ahead of Lamb, but I just think look at I know it's camp and you can't get excited for it, but like he's out there on the machine before practice and after catching 200 extra passes, doing one-hand grabs, all kinds of stuff. Like he's going to be a target monster in this offense in a PPR league, especially PPR. I don't know about non-PPR. It'd be a little bit different. I wouldn't move him down too far, but in a PPR league, he has number 1 potential overall out of the wide receivers because he could see 190 targets, 180 targets this year, and I would not be that surprised if he did. Well over 100 catches. So, yeah, I have him at 7, and then AJ Brown is 8. It was tough. I battled Brown and Davante for 7, 8 there, but it was close. But in the end, I did put Brown there. My thing with Brown, we'll talk about this, I guess, when we get there. It's a surprise. I'll keep it for that. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, you love Amon-Ra St. Brown. You absolutely love him. You got him on both your Scott Fishbowl and your Warrior, right?
Yeah. I got him on a lot of places. I am probably going to have him in a lot of redraft leagues too, because I think where I have him ranked and where he's going ADP wise are going to be 2 completely different things. Like I won't have a shot. I always say don't look at my rankings and use that when you draft, but I know he's going to go at the end of round 2, so he won't be there for me. So he's one of the guys that I'm probably going to be targeting in round 2. Like I don't know where I'm going to pick, but if I'm picking 6 through 12 or something like that, and you can let me start Bijan Amon-Ra. Yeah.
You love him.
You love him. Yeah.
Let's see. Courtney said preseason doesn't matter or does it? No. Preseason doesn't matter at all.
I almost made, I got busy then today at work, so I couldn't really do much. And then last night I should have done it. That's when I was going to do it, but I didn't. I was going to make this funny perpetual cycle chart about camp. And it's like bad day at camp, 80, not drafting him. Good day at camp, moves up ADP. Bad day at camp, moves down ADP. Good day at camp, moves up. It like this perpetual cycle of ADP. And he had a good day at camp, he's good again. Oh, he had a bad day at camp, he's bad. Like none of that matters. Like it's camp.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, so the next one for me, it's a little weird. I didn't put a wrestling title on this one. I just put it as like the next wave. So it's like the next breed of up and coming studs. And, some of these guys are obviously already there, but they're not quite on that level. You think Amon-Ra's there, but I got Amon-Ra, Garrett Wilson, Jalen Waddle, Devonta Smith, T. Higgins, Chris Olave. I think you can draw a definitive line between you got Wilson, Amon-Ra, and Waddle. You can draw a line, then Devonta Smith, T. Higgins, Chris Olave. But, just for the sake of this exercise, I'm tiering those 6 guys together. The next wave, Garrett Wilson, Amon-Ra, Jalen Waddle, Devonta Smith, T. Higgins, Chris Olave.
So that gets you to where?
14.
14? Okay. Yeah, I have 9. Adams, DavanteAdams. I think Jimmy G's fine. It's maybe aged a little bit related more than anything. And there is maybe a little risk with a new quarterback there, but he should force feed him the football like everybody else has force fed him the football. And then I have Garrett Wilson 10 now.
Mm-hmm.
You can go to bloodlinenetwork.com and read the breakout article. Garrett Wilson is my number 1 breakout on that. Yeah, he gets Aaron Rodgers now. This is going to be a monster year for Garrett Wilson, a guy who still put up 1,100 yards with nothing last year. Jalen Waddle, I have 11. If anything ever goes, he just needs Tua to stay healthy, number 1. His splits without Tua are not the greatest, but he's a top 5 wide receiver talent-wise. And if TyreekHill, who's getting up there, 29? Whatever, it wouldn't be it's one of those things. I don't think it's going to happen this year, but I would not be completely shocked if one day they switch and Waddle's the guy there. He's the 1A and Hill becomes the 1B. Or if anything ever happened to Hill and he got hurt, for instance, then you have a top 5 wide receiver all of a sudden there in Jalen Waddle. So he's still a wide receiver 1 for me. And rounding out my wide receiver 1s, ranked 12. This is a little surprising to you, probably, but it's Keenan Allen.
Okay.
I have him. His last 8 weeks, was it, when he came back? I think he was literally, there was only one. I think Justin Jefferson was the only wide receiver better than him for the last 8 weeks of the football season last year. That's it. Don't quote me on that. I read it somewhere, but I'll try to find it while we're doing it. But it's close to what I'm saying. He was a monster.
I believe it. I had him on a couple dynasty teams. Yeah, yep. So he was great when he came back.
Especially PPR again. He's a target monster. I know.
Because every week is he going to play? He's suiting up. He's on the sideline. Oh, he doesn't play. Oh, he's active. Oh, he didn't play. It was like, what the fuck is going on?
I can't call him injury prone. There's a little risk because of his age to me, but he's not really injured. He had a couple of fluke injuries 6 years ago, but then the last few years he's been fine again for the most part. Last year, a little banged up early, but as long as he's there again, he's going to be Herbert's 1 and should be a target hog in that offense again. So I like Keenan Allen. You don't even have to draft him where I have him ranked. That's one of the guys I'm going to do a ignore my watch for ADP, ignore my rank article, where I'm going to pinpoint guys that I really, really like that I ranked high, but the ADP consensus is on them is much lower. So like a Keenan Allen, you don't have to take where I have him. Do not. But a Keenan Allen, you can absolutely get as your 3rd pick in a draft. So you can stack 2 monster people and then still get a Keenan Allen in 3rd or 4th round even. Sometimes I've seen him fall 4th round. ADP is a little weird right now, though, because early on, obviously, it's all dynasty, and everybody's drafting differently for a dynasty. So we kind of have to see. In best ball, I'm not even going to count best ball ADP either because it's another thing. People draft much differently for that. So I need to see. It's starting to come out slowly as real leagues are starting to draft finally. So let's see when the ADP kind of falls in. Usually you could just look at their rank. As sad as it sounds, if you're in the Kinko's office league and you're just playing against your employees at Kinko's, usually Keenan Allen's going to go around where they rank him on whatever platform he's on. So that's why it's always nice to have your own rankings. Always make your own rankings going into a draft and go off that. But if ESPN has him at pick 40, but you have him at pick 12, you can wait. That's the nice part. But yeah, I'm talking about that way too long now. 13, T. Higgins. Obviously, also him and Chase could both coexist, especially in that offense with Joe Burrow. But you saw, as crazy as it sounds, when Chase went down, Higgins was not as good as we thought he was going to be when Chase went down. Chase actually takes probably a lot of attention off of T. Higgins, so I almost prefer Chase being there and just leaving T. Higgins.
He was only putting up 14, 16-point games. It was nothing crazy.
Yep. That's why I almost like when they're both there. Yeah. Chase doesn't matter. He'll put up whatever. You can, no matter if Higgins is there or not. So, and then 14, I do have Olave. And that's where that would round out.
Okay, cool.
Olave, so at 14 and 15 to me, I kind of are tied. So I might as well just say 15 while we're here. And that's Devonta Smith. I think they're both of them are talented enough to be they're both talented enough to be a top 12 wide receiver. Overall, I just don't know how it shakes out. I know Olave is going to be there one day, but does Michael Thomas play 14 games this year? And if he does he consume enough targets to just bump Olave down a little bit. I don't know. Or Olave is just going to be some alpha. Reports are he does look pretty damn good. And then Devonta Smith's the same thing. I do wonder if we're ranking Brown and Smith too far apart. And should they be ranked closer together?
Well, Smith was wide receiver 9 last year.
That's what I mean. Like, could they? We keep saying like, well, AJ Brown's only problem is there's Devonta Smith, and we keep saying Devonta Smith's only problem is there's AJ Brown. Like, do they both end up wide receiver 13 and 12 or something like that this year? Side by side.
I got them 7 spots apart.
Yeah, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So do I. 7 spots apart exactly, even though it's a little different. Because Devonta Smith at 15, he could absolutely be a top 5 wide receiver.
Oh yeah.
Even with Goddard there, I'm not too fearful of that. They only throw the football to 3 people, so. And that's what I was waiting. I was waiting for this pod to do this too. Running backs, we really couldn't talk about it. Like the Eagles' defense was so good last year. And the offense would put up points, get ahead, and then they didn't have to do anything in second halves of games last year. Mm-hmm. So we're going off of just last year's volume. But I do wonder what if the defense is obviously in a transition a little bit. I don't know if it's not as good as it was a year ago. Are they in closer games in the second half than they were last year? That means we do see a volume increase in Jalen Hurts, which means we would see a volume increase regardless in Smith, Brown, and Goddard. Like last year that's what they did last year. That was the MO. Jalen Hurts would have 30 points, fantasy points by halftime, and then they would just run the ball out the second half, and they were done because the defense would just take over. So I'm actually kind of hoping that they're in closer games now, second half of this season, and we do get a little more volume out of that because that would be a little bit of a bonus, and then it might be a little too low on Devonta Smith.
I love Devonta Smith. I mean, I still got him 13th. But when you were talking about Keenan Allen, I actually would have him over Chris Olave, but I couldn't put Chris Olave not in the next wave. And Keenan Allen doesn't go to the next wave. It doesn't that whole thing didn't make sense. But if I was actually doing a rankings and I was drafting, I would take Keenan Allen over Chris Olave and he would be my 14th. With that being said, Keenan Allen is my 15th. What I'm calling these are mid-carders. So, Kayla, what's good? Throw my one sub for Kayla. The way I'm doing my fantasy football tiers, and then just tuning in, I do them by wrestling. So, I got main eventers, upper mid-carders. Right now, I'm on my mid-carders. Keenan Allen, although I really think he can flutter with upper mid-card territory still. DJ Moore, I got right after him. Love me some DJ Moore this year. I got Amari Cooper. I think he's going to have a big year. Calvin Ridley. Actually, I should just say that I think I put 10 guys here because I just wanted to wrap out my my wide receivers too. Or my wide receivers
go from 15 or to what?
Yeah, so this goes from 15 to 24.
Okay.
So I got DJ Moore or Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, Amari Cooper, Calvin Ridley, DK Metcalf, even though I absolutely hate him, would never draft him, but DK Metcalf, Chris Godwin, DeAndre Hopkins, Jerry Jeudy, Drake London, and Deebo Samuel. In really no particular order at the bottom, but that's the 10 guys in this range. Wrapping up the mid-carders, wrapping up my wide receiver 2s.
I have so I'll start then. 16 for me. We do have a little bit of differences on this, and I have DK Metcalf at 19, and I hate it. I absolutely hate it, by the way. It's something we're going to talk about on busts because I have him there for busts.
19. That's what I have him at. 19 exactly. Awful. I
don't even like it there. I think I should put him lower, but I keep telling myself there's the bold take side of me that I want to do it. I don't even think it's that bold, to be honest with you. But then the smart, just be a conservative guy ranking this and leave him right around there type person. But I'm not happy with it because there's absolute red flags about that. We'll get to that though when we get to bust. With 16, I do have DJ Moore.
Oh, shit.
He was in my breakouts too. We'll talk about that in a little bit. I have 17 Christian Watson. Another guy that I put my if I write a breakout article, these guys have to be in my top 20, 24s. It's got to be a little bit bold for me, but it's got to be a guy getting drafted early enough, number one, but a guy that I also rank kind of high to be bold enough to call him a breakout. They're not sleepers by any means. And I know we had talked about DJ. We'll talk about that in breakouts. Then I have Jerry Jeudy at 18. Although, good God, here we go with the Sutton reports to ruin my life. And then we got DK Metcalf at 19. I have Calvin Ridley at 20. Amari Cooper at 21. Kind of a boring pick, but he's probably going to be pretty good. You got him higher than me and Ridley. You got big ears out of them, huh?
Yep, like them both. Yep.
And then I got a guy I think we're going to be a little too low on. I think consensus might be is Chris Godwin, a guy you could probably wait to get. Mike Evans, he'll be down here a little bit, but his best days are probably over with. Last year, he really did his damage in like 2 games only, like 2 big monster games, and the rest are kind of mediocre. Godwin, kind of the slot, more volume type guy. I think even with Baker Mayfield, we saw it with Jarvis Landry. He might be pretty good still. So I think we're too low on Godwin just for the type of receiver that he is. So I kind of have him at 22, especially PPR league. I think he's a pretty, if you get screwed back end wide receiver 2 for you, might not make, especially if you go running back early, like 2 running backs or something early. He's the perfect guy to stash back there. Then I got Scary Terry at 23. He's boring again, but it's another guy that I think he's gonna probably beat the 23 rank. Like, I'm not shocked if he finishes as wide receiver 16 or 17 on this year. His teammate will be on here a little bit later too. But I do like Terry. He's just kind of a boring pick. You know, you're not getting a lot of upside out of him. I rank guys like Watson ahead of him. DJ Moore, I have ahead of him, who a lot don't. But it's because the upside that they bring to the table right now is just higher. Like, it's a home run swing. We talked about it last week, though. Calculated gambling. That's what fantasy is to me. Like, we're using educated guesses to pick players. It's not like some prop bet or spread or anything. Like, this is more of just an you're playing matchups, you're blah, 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 blah. A lot more data goes into this, but it's educated gambling. It's kind of what I call it. Then Hopkins, I still have at 24. I don't like it, but they didn't bring him there to not throw the ball to him, especially in a PPR league. So we'll see if that one backfires in my face. And then 25, I have Drake London.
I was waiting for that. I was like, where is Drake London? Yeah, okay.
I would love to move him up. I think he might end up maybe I'll put him ahead of Hopkins now that we're sitting here talking about it, to be honest. Maybe I'll move him to 24, Hopkins to 25. There's more upside to London. My fear for London is just one damn thing. That's it. There's one thing. It's Arthur Smith and running that damn football. Just throw it a little more. We're going to talk about London a little bit later too, but go ahead.
No, yeah, I was surprised. I just was surprised you didn't have him higher. When I was making my list, I had him at 23. I was like,
I know. I got to get him up there. I don't know.
I felt a little low. I felt a little low on him. He's a guy I'm not going to draft. Like, I'm not going to draft any Falcons, period. I will never draft Kyle Pitts ever. And I'm certainly not going to draft Drake London for one reason, as you just said, Streets, the quarterback. But I was surprised you.
I don't have Debo on there either yet. If you have not noticed, so.
No, I did. Yeah, I noticed Debo, and he's the only one that we differ from in the top 24. I guess London. You have Watson and Scary Terry and ironically, in my low mid card, my first 2 in my low mid card are Christian Watson and Scary Terry. So that's my 25, my 26, 27, Michael Pittman. He can't have much worse of a season than he had last year, right? I mean, I don't think so. I don't love Michael Pittman. In fact, he was on my DND, my do not draft list, and you know what I did? I drafted him in Scott Fishbowl. Round 10. Like, what? Come on. Like, sometimes when a player's on your DND, you just got to make the pick, and I took him. I like Michael Pittman there.
I got him as a sleeper. We'll talk about that a little later, but I got him at 27 too. So.
Oh, okay, cool. Nice. That's good. That makes me feel a little better. Brandon Ayuk, even with all the weapons, CMC, Elijah Mitchell, Debo, George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk still got his touches. So I like Brandon Ayuk. Streets, I know he's always injured, but Mike Williams, man. Mike Williams, when he's on the field, is pretty consistent. He gets consistent touches. Jahan Dotson, I love Jahan Dotson. The skill set for that kid is fucking there. And by the way, I got 12 people here. I'm just running down my low mid card. 12 is basically all my wide receiver threes. And then it goes to, I mean, not particularly sexy, but Mike Evans is always consistent. So put him out there. Baker's going to throw it up. Hopefully he brings it down. I got it. What is this? 5, 3, 6, 4, 7, 8. This is 31 anyways. Mike Evans at 31, 32. Deontay Johnson, another DND guy, not sexy at all. Don't like him, but you got to put these guys somewhere, right? Deontay Johnson, Tyler Lockett. He had a great season last year, but I think JSN will eventually eat into what he does. But still, got to give the man his respect. Oh, no. Fuck. Christian Kirk. I'm so sorry. Christian Kirk. He gets penciled in right after Michael Pittman, right before Brandon Ayuk. I apologize. Ooh. I don't want to disrespect Christian Kirk. I still think he's going to be very serviceable.
Is that your James Conner this week?
Yes. Christian Kirk was my James Conner that I forgot when I was doing my ranking. You got it, bro. So I was like, no. He belongs. No, I got him like right with Pittman and Ayuk, right in that range. And then Hollywood, no quarterback, but I mean, he should see the ball a lot of fucking opportunity. And the guy Streets hates. I loved him last year. I'm starting to love him again. Cortland Sutton. Cortland Sutton.
No.
Cortland Sutton rounds out my wide receiver threes in my low mid card.
Oh, Cortland Sutton. He gives me nightmares. Here he's back. How did he get into your top? Oh man. Okay. Woo! I'm not that high yet on him.
Top 30.
Yeah, I can't believe you brought him back into your top 40 alone.
Because I have. Well, it's because I have a certain class, my NXT class. It's kind of like how I had Keenan Allen not in the one class because he ain't young, so I can't put him in my NXT class. So he's kind of got to go to the low mid card. But yeah, I'd still take Cortland Sutton over most of the guys in the NXT class. So let me hear what you got to say.
Yeah. So I'll get to 30. What did I still leave off at? Drake London at 25. So we'll start at 26. I'll go to like 38. I have Hollywood Brown at 26.
Wow.
The reason I do is because I do expect Kyler Murray to play this year. I don't think everybody's worried he's going to sit the season. Like, we're going to get to week 5 or 6. They're going to be 0-4 and they're just going to sit Kyler. Like, here's what you don't get. Like, let's say they stink. They are going to stink. But let's say they're tanking for Caleb Williams. They have to trade Kyler. So teams have to see Kyler get back out there and play a little bit to maybe get them a little bit more back in return. But number 2, Kyler Murray's just not going to sit there and fake being hurt so they can just tank to get his replacement and put him there. Like, it's not going to work that way. Like, Kyler Murray's not going to say, yeah, okay, I'm hurt. Like, no, he's going to say, no, I'm ready to play. Like, he's not just going to go along with the conspiracy theory that he's going to sit out the whole season. He's going to want to get out there when he's healthy to play. So I do believe that he is going to play this year. And Kyler Murray's been a top 10 quarterback when he does play. I get it. New head coach. He lost his college coach, whatever you want to say. But either way, now back to Hollywood Brown. That's who we're talking about. In the 6 weeks without DeAndre Hopkins last year, he saw 9+ targets 5 times in those games. And he was a clear-cut stud in those first 6 weeks of the season last year. So I wonder if you take him, because you can get him late. So I do wonder, is another guy that you don't have to draft him where I rank him. One of those two. But you can get him, and he could still put up value. Like, he could be a flex play for you some weeks still with whoever the hell is the quarterback there in week 1. Whether it's McCoy or Toon, whichever one of those two kind of are there for those first few weeks. But then if you get a second half of the season with Hollywood Brown getting 9 targets a week, then you got yourself a nice little wide out there. So I'm probably a little higher on him than most people. 27, Pittman. That's where we're spot on that one. I believe I said it in my rookie article, bloodlinenetwork.com, if you want to go read that. That rookie article was right after the draft. So a little bit has changed since then, but not that much. And I have Anthony Richardson, if he starts day 1, a top 12 quarterback to use in fantasy football. And somebody is going to Like Justin Fields never had a Michael Pittman last year. Had no one close to Michael Pittman on that team. Talent-wise, Michael Pittman is very talented. So even with a rookie learning who struggles throwing the football, it still could be 115, 120 targets that Michael Pittman sees last year. It could be inconsistent some weeks, but the volume might be decent there. So you can get him late too. That's why I kind of just talked about what I'm going to talk about in sleeper. And then 28, 29, I have Samuel and Ayuk side by side.
Back to
back,
huh?
Yeah, because I kind of think that's how the weeks might go. I think both of them are super, super talented. But when you saw the target share with Samuel, Ayuk, CMC, and Kittle all there together on the field, all four of them, we're talking, you're lucky to get 6, 7, 8 targets sometimes out of these guys some weeks because it varies each week. And they can make all of them worthwhile season end. They can. That's how San Francisco's offense really is. But it's just going to be a week-to-week thing. And without Debo rushing the football, which I don't think he'll do much of these days, I think he's just closer to Brandon Ayuk than he is back being those top 18 type plays. Still top 30 for me. Christian Kirk at 30. Deontay Johnson, 31. Look,
hey, same spot.
Targets he still saw a shit ton of targets last year, like a crap ton. Like he's heavy target share. And if Kenny Pickett does improve, and it wasn't just Deontay being bad, they kind of both even out each other again, and he sees that same type of volume, we're all probably drafting Deontay Johnson way too late. So if Kenny Pickett does break out a little bit, definitely takes the next step in his progression, we might be drafting Deontay Johnson and the other guy there maybe a little too late. But it's hard when you get to pick 30, it's hard not to take Deontay Johnson still at this point. 32, my highest rookie. I have Jordan Addison right there. I said it again in that rookie article. I've moved JSN closer to him. He's at 33 now, but I told you in that rookie article that Jordan Addison's going to walk into 100 targets. Day one. Yeah. He's route running is insane. Like KJ Osborne is gone. Like, I don't know if anybody thought was going to happen there. TJ Hawkinson is still going to see a heavy workload. I'm not worried about that. So you got Jefferson. They're going to throw the football 650 times, and Jefferson's going to get 180 of them. Addison will get 100 of them. Hawkinson will get 100 of them. Like, that's just how it's going to go. And I think all three of them can coexist and be monsters this year in fantasy. So I think Jordan Addison ends up as the best rookie of the class. And bold take, could he be a wide receiver too? Yes. I've actually moved him up. I was a little lower on him, but I have JSN at 33 now. Circle back to the draft show when I said at some point he's going to take over DK's role as the one in this offense. And I think by the end of this season, he's going to take over the number one wide receiver role in this offense. You just see the clips of him at camp. He's so damn good. Like, he is unreal. The speed thing is overblown. You see this guy like off the line of screen. You can't guard him. He just cuts and runs routes so crisp. He is just going to be a target hog in this offense, I think. I'm going to surprise a lot of people, and you get him a little late too, but I have Lockett at 34. I put them side by side also. I still think there's value there for Lockett. 35, one of my sleepers, also Jahan Dotson. I do think he takes over 2 in that role. I know the touchdowns are a little fluky, and that's kind of what carried him those first 4 weeks last year when he came out the season pretty hot.
2 touchdowns.
Yeah. But I think he takes over the 2 role there over Curtis Samuel this year, becomes House. I mean, we talk about JSN. Dotson's very similar in a sense. Super, like he can hit. So same as Addison, really. Dotson might be the best route runner of them all, to be brutally honest with you. That's how good Jahan Dotson is. And I think a lot of people don't realize that. I think they see the Washington thing and they get a little turned off by him. But would it be surprising if Dotson was the one there over Scary Terry by year end? Nope. Wouldn't even be shocked by that either. So Mike Evans, 36, crusty old guy.
Yeah. There he is.
I just don't know. Consistent. He'll probably, what I like about Mike Evans is he'll probably do the same thing he did last year. He'll have 2 or 3 weeks where he could win you the week, And he might be useless the rest of the time for you. And then I have Quentin Johnson at 37. I have him ahead of Mike Williams because I think he's just going to take Mike Williams' job.
Guy.
Because I think he's just a better version of Mike Williams, to be honest. A younger one that might stay healthy version of Mike Williams.
I love QJ, but
so I'd rather have the upside there, especially when we're taking these guys this late. I'd rather take the upside of QJ there. And then I have Treylon Burks at 38 because I do think there's some allure to him alongside Hopkins now, because he's the guy who's open. Like Hopkins gets doubled. That's where the attention goes. Could be beneficial to Burks now at 38. Another super, super talented guy. So yeah, 38 there.
Cool. All right. So we got a lot of the same guys, just a slightly different order. Because these guys, you could argue, as you did, that they should be in that previous tier. I got them in the tier called NXT, just kind of younger, about to develop into that next star. I got guys like JSN, reason what you said. Guys like Quentin Johnston for what you said. And I loved Quentin Johnston at TCU. What wasn't there to love? 6'4", 4'4", 4'4", Come on. Dude, kid's a stud. And then he ended up running like a 4'6", 40. But I digress. You know, in college, it was all the wave. But Jordan Addison, loved the kid. Listen, for me, with these rookies this year, and it's something that I like to do. I started to do it. People always like to do running back handcuffs, okay? But you have a perfect situation with a lot of these guys to do wide receiver handcuffs. And does that sound silly? Sure. But if you're spending the first overall pick on Justin Jefferson, you should probably go get some insurance at some point and draft Jordan Addison at a reasonable price, all right? Therefore, if something happens to JJ, Jordan Addison's got your back. Same thing if you're fucking getting DK. I don't know why you would, but if you're going to draft DK, go and draft JSN a little bit later. So if anything happens to DK, you're covered with JSN. And especially if you're going to be drafting Keenan Allen or Mike Williams, go and get yourself that insurance with Quentin Johnston. So that's what I like with these guys. You could say the same thing about DeAndre Hopkins and Treylon Burks, who is also in this tier for me. I like Treylon Burks this year. I think the addition of DeAndre Hopkins is only going to help Treylon Burks get better as a wide receiver and help him get open out there. And then I got George Pickens here as well. And really, you could put these guys in any sort of order. But these are the 6 guys that I think rookies, first-year guys, who have a real good chance to take a fucking nice step this year.
Yeah, the wide receiver handcuff. It's okay in certain. I think it's all right in like certain scenarios. It's probably worth doing. I don't know if I'd go out of my way to do it on me personally, but I get the approach that you're taking with that, especially kind of because they're separated by a lot. So, and I'm not opposed. And you know what though, you could almost start both of them at times, and
in bye weeks, in bye weeks, because a lot of times these guys we're talking about now aren't going to be starting for you. These are bench guys, so why not get a bench guy? That's the thing. I'm confident. Like I have Addison 32. I'm confident you're going to start him every week. So you're going to, at that point, you'd be starting Addison and JJ in the same lineup. Well, I wouldn't like that.
But I don't think it's detrimental to you. I don't think it hurts you if they're both having good years. Like last year, you could have got away just fine starting both AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. I'm not saying you should, because on a really, really bad day, you're screwed. Like then none of them do anything for that game. But that day, that week.
Yeah.
But yeah. But it's not a horrible idea. I see where you're going with it.
A
wide receiver handcuff, he says.
Handcuff.
Whoop. Hold on.
We lost him. We got a lot of him. A lot of street space.
Hold on. I lost you, buddy.
Freaking out, man. He's freaking out.
You want to know what happened?
I don't know. Are you back?
Yeah, I'm back. StreamYard decided to or Siri, I mean, decided to hear me say something and decided to open up music and play something, which would have just ruined our copyright infringement on this one too. So they would have deleted the podcast if I probably didn't get that out too quick. Might have to edit that part out so that they don't delete it when they hear.
I didn't hear any music or anything.
Oh, you didn't hear it?
Nope. I just saw you coming in and out, fucking like whatever you were doing.
Yeah, no, Siri literally heard me say play something, and then it took over and then popped on my screen and opened music up, and played a hip hop song I have never heard. I'm not in tune these days with the new stuff, but it played something. Either way, I was like, "Uh-oh, we're gonna get copyright nailed right now by YouTube on this one." But yeah, so back to that. George Pickens at 39 for me. Mike Williams at 40. I'd take him, but I'm going to take him after the other two guys. 41, Michael Thomas. 42, Juju Smith-Schuster. He could play in a PPR league. Like he could be a decent flex in PPR. He might see some volume there coming out of the slot. Kind of like Jacoby a year ago, right? Wasn't useless. Could get you 10 points when you need it in a bind. Then I have Rashad Bateman, Zay Flowers at 43 and 44. Bateman does have the screw in his foot. That makes me a little bit worried about him. Zay Flowers, all reports, I might have to move Zay Flowers up because he is shining right now out there. Like he's the guy I hear. And he does play up the middle. So that might help him out a little bit. But I kind of have them side by side. I think they're both going to be pretty good this year. I'm good. I'm going to pass on everywhere. Brandon Cooks could be a sneaky little flex play some weeks there in Dallas now. I got him at 45. I'll just go to 50 and then I'll wrap up real quick. Elijah Moore back on my radar at 46. Kadarius Toney got hurt now, but I had him at 47. We'll see how that pans out. Cortland Sutton at 48.
48. Right there. 48.
And then I got Gabe Davis at 49. Maybe he can, after all that hype last year, I'm not going to take him out my top 50 yet. But I'm not going to move him into the top like 40 yet. But I still like Gabe Davis a little bit. If anything ever were to happen, Diggs too, who's getting up there in age, like Gabe Davis could be a nice steal for you at that point.
Are you saying he'd be a great wide receiver handcuff?
Thank
you. All right. Thank you. I'm telling you, I'm going to fucking make this wide receiver handcuff thing come into fruition.
And then 50, Rondale Moore.
Wow. Is he their number 2?
He's their number 2. And I kind of like him, especially when Kyler comes back. Because he was another guy last year with Kyler who was actually pretty good. He should see a nice handful, 6, 7, 8, 9 targets, whatever, a week also as the number 2 there. So I kind of like him. As long as Kyler's there, you're not really going to use Rondale Moore unless Kyler's playing. But when Kyler's there, I like Rondale Moore as like a nice little Hail Mary flex play. So he could get you 10 points. That's what you're looking for. Oh, okay. Salami. And it's not feeling too good for
It's been coming up, huh?
Yep.
All right, I'll wrap mine up. So I called this group the enhancement talent. They're there. They'll put people over. I'm starting off Brandon Cooks. I love Brandon Cooks this year. If he could stay on the field, he will be their number 2 wide receiver. I love Brandon Cooks this year. Juju, and there's no particular order with these guys. Juju Smith-Schuster, Gabe Davis. Again, all that hype last year. Like, there had to be something there. We saw the way he played that playoff game against Kansas City the year before. I mean, the kid's got talent. Just give him the ball. I think he still finished as a wide receiver 3 last year. I think he was still a top 36 wide receiver. So got Gabe Davis there. Michael Thomas. I don't know who the fuck Michael Thomas is anymore, but if the Michael Thomas that I can remember can still play football, then at this point, I think he's a great wide receiver 4 option, maybe wide receiver 3 value if he can get on the field. Rashad Bateman. I'd love to put him as a sleeper. I loved him last year. I loved him. I think I drafted him in almost every dynasty that I was in. I loved the kid. Very, very disappointing season. Wasn't very good before he got hurt. The injury certainly didn't help. Zay Flowers, like Street said, another rookie killing it. Thought about putting him in my NXT core. Just not quite there yet with the other guys to me. And then I got a couple of Moores. I got Elijah Moore. I think Sky Moore could have a very underrated season. I mean, he was a fucking first-round pick, all right? Andy Reid's going to figure out a way to utilize this kid's skills.
Yeah, I got to move. I'm probably going to move Sky Moore into the Tony spot. I just don't know how that all shakes out there now that he got hurt. That's a very clustered bunch. That's what makes me. Yeah.
And that's why I got Tony right after him, because I don't know what's going to go on there, but they're both very talented. And just like we saw last year in glimpses, they found ways to run specialty plays for both of those guys, which means, but Matt Nagy's there now, but that's Andy Reid's offense, not Matt Nagy's offense. So let's hope they can continue to specialize these plays, and that it wasn't too much of Eric Bieniemy doing that for them. And then Alan Lazard, he's an Aaron Rodgers guy. He should be the Jets' number 2 wide receiver, top 50-ish for him. You know, I like him there. And Darnell Mooney. I think Darnell Mooney, he's going to be a sleeper. I think Darnell Mooney could have a hugely underrated year this season. So Darnell Mooney will wrap it up. I think that's like 52, 53.
That's fine. Any guys late after that, you don't have to, that you like, that could see decent volume?
I'm always I'm a Tyler Boyd guy.
Well, he's a handcuff, right? He's your wide receiver handcuff.
Yes, dude. Yes, exactly. I'm a huge Tyler Boyd guy. Well, you got one of those two guys. They go down. Not a bad guy to fill in. He's instantly their wide receiver too. There.
He has standalone value on his own too. He has weeks without.
Because
they don't throw to tight end that much.
He's their wide receiver 3. He's got flex appeal all the time. Like, he's the third guy Joe Burrow's going to throw the ball to. Yeah. I mean, he's definitely got flex appeal. So I always like me some Tyler Boyd every year. And then I also like Alec Pierce. He should be the Colts' number 2 wide receiver. He definitely showed glimpses of skill last year. It'll be interesting to see how he could progress in year 2 under Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, I like Boyd. He's kind of a definitely a late guy. I like Jameson Williams, another guy maybe. You got to get on the field. It's a tough climb for him now, missing so much time the first 2 seasons, but could be one of those. I like Nico Collins a little bit for these late dart. I guess we're just going to call them flyers at this point. Yeah, and that's probably about it. It's going to be a lot of these next guys, like even Jalen White, who's having a good camp, but you can see when the season starts is going to be very up and down.
He runs the fastest 40 in the league, faster than TyreekHill. He ran with what? Not fastest 40. He ran 26 miles per hour. Is that what I read?
Yeah, but speed doesn't always equate once you get to gameplay. Like, you put the pads on and get out there and play. Like, the speed's one thing. Look at John Ross. Is that, remember?
Fastest
guy ever.
Out of Washington. Wasn't he a first-round pick too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What that means. So the speed doesn't equate to it.
Like pick 9. Cincinnati, right?
Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Who now has Chase and Higgins. So you just got to keep taking wide receivers. That's how you do it.
You do. I know. I would have been scared to take Chase after that fucking John Ross debacle, man.
They did. Burrow knew it. He was like, that's who you're taking. Go get him. Like, he is the guy. But yeah, so that's our top 50. That's pretty good. We did that.
Hell yeah, I would agree with Courtney. We definitely put some very talented players in that top 50 for sure. Matty Daddy, what is up? Yo, and you can check Matty Daddy out right here on the Bloodline Entertainment Network. He dropped his first short today on Jonathan Taylor, and more to come soon. Love it, brother. Love it. Thanks for tuning in, my dude.
But yeah, you want to start sleepers? We'll do some sleepers, some breakouts, and busts. You got some?
Well, sleepers. What do I got to qualify for sleepers again? I know you have very specifics.
No,
I got them all. I got everything, but I just need to.
You know my rules. My rules
are
just
fall in your realm again.
Like, top 50 picks cannot be sleepers. They just doesn't equate to me. Like, if you're taking them in the top 50, that means you're certain they're going to break out. Like, they're not really a sleeper. They are going to be a bona fide stud for your team. And that's, I kind of consider the breakouts in that area. I consider the sleepers, the guys that the sleepers might not give you wide receiver 1 stats either, but they're useful. they could get you wide receiver 2 or consistent flex play numbers also. So that's why it's a little different for me. Where the breakouts, I have legitimate top 10 aspirations for. So that's kind of how I look at it.
So I had my sleepers were originally guys like low. So like, all right, I was going to have Cortland Sutton. I'm going back to that train, Daddy. I'm going back to that Cortland Sutton train. I don't think I do think he could be a wide receiver 2 certain weeks. Why not? The skill set's there. The offense is going to be so much improved under Sean Payton. I don't know that he's going to consistently be a wide receiver 2, though. That's why I was asking you what your parameters are. But I do think he can be.
You can have your own parameters. You're going to follow mine.
I do think Cortland Sutton can be a consistent flex play this year. Treylon Burks, very random, but I like with DeAndre Hopkins there. I think Treylon Burks is going to have a much better opportunity. He could also learn from him. It's year 2, very shoddy rookie season. Ryan Tannehill was hurt. Malik Willis experience. He's going to get Ryan Tannehill this year, so he should get some solid quarterback play. I put that in parentheses if you didn't see it, but he should get better quarterback play than he had last year. I like Treylon Burks, but again, I don't know that he would consistently be a flex play, so to speak. So I guess that's why. So if I want to go, someone who will be a flex play, I'll go with Jahan Dotson for sure. I love Jahan Dotson. Obviously, I got him ranked 30th overall. Love Jahan Dotson. I think he could definitely be a sleeper. And yeah, I'll just leave it at that. I'll leave it at those guys because I think that there was 3 I said, right? Sutton, Burks, and Dotson. Yeah, perfect.
My sleepers this year will be I talked about them already. I'd say Hollywood Brown is one. Going late enough for me, I guess, to be kind of on the edge, the fringe of that realm to be a sleeper, but I'm going to count it because I wrote it, so I'm just going to put him there. But yeah, we talked about it before. 9 plus double-digit targets in 4 of those weeks, by the way. So, and then 9 plus targets in 5 of the 6 weeks with Kyler Murray and no DeAndre Hopkins. So, kind of like him a little later. Michael Pittman, told you earlier, someone has to catch the football there. I could see an easy way he goes 120 targets this year, 115 targets this year. Could be inconsistent, but if Anthony Richardson is that guy and comes out on fire this year, rookie of the year type guy, then we're all too low on Michael Pittman probably. But there is risk. Yeah, rookie quarterback might struggle throwing the football, but he'll have his days. We never see 115 targets. It could be up and down with the rookie, but I kind of like him. I had Dotson also on there. I agree with you there. Jahan Dotson is primed for a nice little season this year, second year. And then I rounded it out with all 3 rookies are bunched together. So I did have Addison, JSN, and Quentin Johnston. I think Addison has the highest ceiling this season, he has the highest floor. That's what, not ceiling. Highest floor this season because he probably has the most consistent workload day 1. So Addison could get you, I said, be bold, wide receiver 2 this year. But JSN has the talent to be a wide receiver 1. That's just how good he is. And then Quentin Johnston also could be that guy. He could take over the Mike Williams role this season. And if something were to happen to Mike Williams, we saw what Mike Williams was able to do, albeit not consistently. Quentin Johnston might even be better. So I kind of have the 3 rookies paired up there for sleepers. So those are mine.
Yeah, that's fair. I love that. I love that for sure. So where do we go next? Do we go
breakouts?
Breakouts?
Yep.
All right, cool. So this one, I think you have.
We might have some sames on this one, I'm sure,
but you have parameters. So these guys got to be they have potential to be wide receiver 1s. Is that it?
Yeah. So you got to be drafting them like in the top 70, top 60-ish, top 50 even maybe. Like there got to be guys that you're taking early enough that your conviction is this guy could be a bona fide top 12 wide receiver. Like I'm taking him. I'm not taking him as late. I'm taking him early because I know he's going to be a stud. That's kind of and these guys I think are all in the top 60 of ADP. So.
All right.
Yep.
Cool.
These guys, all my 4 guys actually might be top 50.
Yeah, I know. That's why when I saw yours comparatively, I was like, nah, that's why I was asking you the other day. But I'll go breakouts. Jerry Jeudy. I think with Russ, I'm fucking riding this. I rode the Broncos train hard last year. It fucking failed. We're going to ride it hard again. Not the running back, so I love Samaje. Not Javonte. Stay the fuck away from Javonte. But I love everything else about what's going on that team right now. So Jerry Jeudy for me, I think he could break out into wide receiver 1 mode. You saw what he did to end last year. He was phenomenal to end last season. Why can't he replicate that? Calvin Ridley. Christian Kirk had a great year last year. Evan Ingram had a great year last year. Christian Kirk was a wide receiver 1, if I'm not mistaken. Wide receiver 11. I think Calvin Ridley is going to step right into that role. He's a much better overall wide receiver. He will be the number 1 there. Calvin Ridley totally has a chance to be a wide receiver 1 this year. And then this is where I wasn't sure before, so I had Cortland Sutton and Treylon Burks here, so I don't really have a third. But I guess if I was going to go with a third, I'm just going to say that it'll be Chris Olave because Michael Thomas is likely not going to be on the field, and Carr is going to have to find someone to build that rapport with, and why not Chris Olave to take that next step? So Chris Olave will be my third breakout. So I'll go Calvin Ridley, Chris Olave, and Jerry Jeudy.
No different than me then.
Yeah. I read your article.
Had the same one, I know. I'm shocked you're gonna. I knew you were gonna take. You could have put Garrett in there. I know that's your guy, so you could have just shared the same.
It's okay. I like Chris Olave too.
Oh, they're both your guys. I forget. Both Ohio State.
Ohio State.
But yeah, so my breakouts then. Spoiler alert: Garrett Wilson. Yes, DavanteAdams was a top 10 wide receiver 4 of the 6 years under Aaron Rodgers. He only played 12 games one of those years. Probably would have been 5 of those 6 years. And I think he only played 14 games the 1 year. So he might have been 6 out of the 6 years, not for injuries, that DavanteAdams was a top 10 wide receiver under Aaron Rodgers. He could get the ball to his number 1. And I think that's going to continue. Even if they're a run-happy offense this year, he's still going to get his, Garrett Wilson. Still going to have, he's like, we could see the 150 target season out of Garrett Wilson this year. We could see top 12 written all over this guy. So I like him. You're kind of drafting him though, like banking on that. Kind of getting there, right? Late second, early third round pick now. We'll kind of see where that ADP shakes out. Also, next on my list, DJ Moore. You had asked, how does he even qualify? It's been in the league for like almost a decade. So and he's still only like, the crazy part is, what is he, like 26? He's still like, he's younger than like Velus Jones. He's been in the league.
That's what I was asking. I was like, I'm not exactly sure like what the parameters are here. So I gotta clarify.
It's okay. I put him here because he's never finished better than wide receiver 16 in PPR. That's it. Like a lot of people shocked by that, actually. Like he never finished higher than wide receiver 16 in PPR, but no, he's never finished higher than wide receiver 16. And I counted him there. And how's he going to do it? Pretty simple. You can go to bloodlinenetwork.com and read the article, but I will give you a quick version of it here on the pod. He obviously has Justin Fields now, which might be his best quarterback he's ever played with. I'm banking on that. I'm all in on Justin Fields. I know you're all in on Justin Fields. It's a make it or break it season for him, but I think he's going to make it. He's going to be him by the end of the year. So that means DJ Moore probably will have the best quarterback he's ever played with. Now, a year ago, even with bad quarterback play, he was 4th in deep targets, and 27% of his receptions went for over 20 yards. So a lot of big play possibilities for DJ Moore. And the one thing we know about Justin Fields is he likes to throw it deep. He was 4th in deep throw percentage a year ago. Now, the overall, like his rating throwing it deep is going to be skewed because we saw who his wide receivers were. It was not good. He had nothing out there. No playmakers, no nothing. So if he's going to throw deep a lot, he's going to hit DJ Moore on some of these. I think that'll counterbalance the volume a little bit because we know they're not going to throw the football 600 times this year. But DJ Moore should still see 115, 120 targets this year. And you get a bunch of big plays out of it. He could sneak his way into the almost like A.J. Brown did last year, a little in a sense, with Philly. So he could be A.J. Brown to Jalen Hurts, and he could be Stephon Diggs to Josh Allen. Something like that this year. DJ Moore can easily be. And the rushing attempt should go down. He's going to run the ball a little bit. He's comfortable doing it. But yeah, they should go down, and they should pass the ball more. The offensive line is going to be better. Fields is more comfortable. They have DJ Moore now. So Claypool, it actually looks pretty good at camp, I heard right now.
Yeah.
So Claypool with the full year. They got Mooney back, Cole Kmet. Like, the offense is better than they probably looked last year.
He wants to throw for 4,000 yards. He has came out and said, I am going to throw for 4,000 yards, which means he's got to not scramble so much. But that also means they need to stop calling so many design quarterback runs for him, which I do think they're going to do as they fucking built the offense around him now. He could drop back, but he should also be bootlegging. I really like Luke Getsy. I really think he's a great offensive mind, good offensive mind. I think that now that he's got proper weapons and a good offensive line around him, I want to see what Luke Getsy does in the passing game as far as what his scheme is. We'll see.
So, yeah, I think they're going to throw the ball more. Next, Christian Watson. That's another breakout I got. It's probably hard. His quarterback changed. He has a very small sample size with Jordan Love. Jordan Love has a very small sample size as a NFL quarterback. I think he's entered 3 games. He started 1 game. So, yeah, not a big sample size there. And we obviously know the touchdown regression is going to hit him hard. No chance he's going to come out and score that many touchdowns and so few touches right out the bat. But he was 12th in yards per route run last year. That's pretty good. And even though I think he had 60 targets or something like that, 67 targets to be exact. Don't quote me on that. Either way, he saw, again, here goes that salami. But his yards after catch per reception was 6.7. So basically that's just his yak divided by the number of catches that he had. So he's pretty good after the catch because his 6.7 was actually better than A.J. Brown's 6.2. So like that's pretty good. So he's a talented guy, and I think obviously I hate saying it, but Jordan Love might be serviceable enough to get Christian Watson the football. Next is Drake London. That's simple. 29% target share last year. Monster target share. That's basically a third of his team's targets is what he saw last year.
That's
so
crazy.
Every 3 times they threw a football, 1 went to Drake London. All he needs is for them to throw the football more. That's it. More volume, throw the football more, keep that target share, and he's in line for a monster season. He was also, by the way, a top 10 wide receiver in PFF grades. So he graded pretty well, even though he didn't get the volume. So it's all there for Drake London.
Yeah, that's why I was surprised you had him at 25. I thought for sure you had him in your top 20 or something.
Sometimes you got it. Look, if you're playing in Scott Fishbowl, for instance, in some league, you got to take a big swing. I'm okay moving Drake London up. But if we're playing in if it's a $200 buy-in, let's say, I just want to, and there's 12 of us. That's it. Only 12 of us. I want to be a little bit more safe at times. I'm not going to be completely safe. I'm going to take my calculated risks still, but Scary Terry or something like that, I might just take because I know I'm going to get the consistent wide receiver 2 numbers all season long out of him. Whereas Drake London, yeah, he could be a top 12 wide receiver, but he also could have weeks where he does nothing because they run the football 600 times a game. It could just even when they're down, they ran the football. That's just what they did last year. They're down by 20. They're trying to establish the run still. That was what the Falcons did all season long. So those are the weeks where Drake London could kill you. So that's why it's it's the league you play in is a lot of times what you got to balance in how you rank these guys. If you need Scott Fishbowl, for instance, there's 3,300 people. You got to swing for the fence at time. Then you take the Drake London over a Scary Terry because you want that top 10 season out of a guy because it's going to separate you from the bunch where if there's just 12 of us playing, sometimes you just need to be in the top 6 and anything can happen in the fantasy playoffs. Anything. So it's you just got to get to the dance. That's it. And then that's kind of why sometimes I like to play it a little safer, but we'll see. He's probably going to move up just a little. But go ahead if you want to do some sleepers.
Busts. All right. So first bust.
Bust. We did sleepers. Yeah, bust.
Yeah, you're good. First bust, DK Metcalf.
Yeah, I was gonna say smash it. We'll agree on this one.
Yeah, I don't like him at all. I got two guys who you're gonna be like, are you fucking kidding me? That you're gonna totally disagree with me on, and I don't care, it's fine. But the first one is Stephon Diggs. So, like, why is he a bust? He's the only option there. Josh Allen should pepper him all day. He's been top 5 in every statistical category, period. Dude's unhappy as fuck, man. And I mean unhappy. And what I've learned and what we've all learned from the wide receiver position throughout the years is if you got an unhappy wide receiver, then maybe, just maybe, there's going to be some friction with the quarterback. Friction with the quarterback is never a good thing. Maybe he takes some plays off. Who knows? Is it likely that Stephon Diggs is going to be a bust But again, you have to remember you're taking this guy top 5 wide receiver overall. So if he finishes at number 12, that's theoretically a bust for you, all right?
He's also 30, right? Almost going to be 30. So.
Yeah, so he's getting older. There you go. Thanks, Streets. Just adding to my point. So Stephon Diggs for me has potential bust value written all over him because he's unhappy. The other guy who I was so high on maybe a week ago, no, fuck no. You're drafting this guy top 6 overall, top 7 overall. CooperKupp, stay the fuck away from me, dude. Get the fuck out of here. No chance. You're already dealing with hamstring issues? Nah. You're drafting him the 3rd wide receiver overall? No, this guy might finish 30th again, all right? Stay the fuck off my team. What if he misses 8 games? What if he misses 10 games? Then
that's any of them, though. The hamstring thing early in camp is like he's not going to miss 8 games.
Hamstring. Oh, well, what if he tears it in like the 3rd week or something? I'm just saying, all right? This dude and his injuries, nah, I'm good, dude. I'm good on CooperKupp. I'm good on Stephon Diggs, and I'm good on DK this year. Yeah, I know that was the response I was going to get. I thought I would get there with CooperKupp and Stephon Diggs, but
I figured out Siri, by the way. I figured out what's happening. It somehow likes you.
Oh, it likes my voice, huh?
Yeah, it picked up you again. I wonder
what I'm saying there. It likes you so much, or what word I'm saying.
I gotta disable it now. So
Something. But yeah, I mean, obviously CooperKupp's a stud. As you said, number 1 PPG wide receiver, period. When he's out there 2 years ago, I mean, that season was ridiculous. I just don't think that man's going to be healthy and stay on the field.
Possible. He was off to that same year last year until he got hurt. I don't know. If I get, let's say I get 13, 14, if I can get 12 I want more than that, but I get 14 weeks out of CooperKupp. And at least they're in the back end of the season, at least for the fantasy playoffs too. I'm completely happy taking him as the 3rd wide receiver off the board.
So if you take him number 3 over, or if you take him as a 3rd wide receiver, if you take him pick 7 overall, and he finishes wide receiver 14 for you, you're fine with that?
Remember, I'm a PPG guy. So his wide receiver, yes, he might finish 14th because he missed the first month of the season. Right. But his PPG from week 5 through week 17 could be top 3 wide receivers still. So he's helping you out in the playoffs then. So like that's why I look at the PPG. But he's got to play at least 14 weeks for me to kind of cross that threshold. I'm not going to put him on the injury. It's legit, but I think it's for him, Diggs, Hill, Davante, all these guys soft tissue wise, because they're getting up there in age. I would not be surprised to see. I could bunch them all together almost and say the same thing about a lot of them.
You could have said Davante too. The only one I'm not saying is Cheetah, because he's in a great mindset, a great place, a great quarterback. But
yeah, the way he runs too, you could just pull a hammy. I mean, those are tough. Soft tissue's not. You can stretch all you want and still pull one of those. So, it is what it is. That's a tough. Injuries are very hard for me to predict, but I get it. All right, my busts are, again, the rules are simple. You nail the rules at least. Like you got to be picked within the top 30, 40 picks. Like if you bust and you were pick 75, it doesn't matter. So at that point, like you're going to survive from that. These are guys that are going to collapse and kill you early in the season. Like you use the top 24 pick on him and he stinks for the most part. And I try to not use injury risk when I do this. It's part of the game. and when you're using age, but I'll try to stay away from that and do other facets for you. So with that being said, AJ Brown is on my bust.
Wow.
And I had said I know we said earlier, added volume, right? Does the Eagles just are in more games? Do we get the added volume out of Jalen Hurts? Yes, that's possible, and it can offset a lot. But Devontae Smith might he's the Heisman guy, right? Like he's a bona fide stud receiver, and he proved it last year. So there's a chance that you're drafting these two guys that far apart. It could be over a round in some cases between these two. And there's a chance Devontae could finish the same as A.J. Brown, if not higher still than an A.J. Brown this year. So it's bold. It's the reason I'm doing this. Obviously, I'd still, where I rank A.J. Brown, I'd still be happy to take him. DavanteAdams is another one for me. Age, I get it. We talked about that when we grouped all those guys together, but also he's not happy. Right. Josh Jacobs is still not there. He's got to go. He's went through some weird stuff after signing there. He signed there to play with Derek Carr. Now Derek Carr got benched and he's gone. So he's not happy. Does he stay there? Could he end up still being traded again this year? And now he has his third quarterback in 3 years. So does Jimmy G fall off the cliff for DavanteAdams? Does he not force feed him the football like everybody else had before? I'm not saying he's going to be bad, but he's being drafted as a top 10 wide receiver. Maybe that's a little bit of a slide, pushes him more to a wide receiver 2 realm. So I do have DavanteAdams there. Obviously, we agree on DK Metcalf. That one's pretty much a no-brainer for me. I don't even know. I have 19. I told you I didn't feel comfortable doing that. Like there's an easy chance that he ends up second or third. Tyler Lockett's already been better than him the last 2 years if you combine it all. Yeah. So it's not like it's some crazy statement that we're making here. I don't think he was a top 20 wide receiver last year in PPR still. So that's kind of where I have him on the fringe there. So you got to look out for that. And then DeAndre Hopkins is on my bust list too, because might be drafted top 24-ish still. And we've seen it before, especially Tennessee, right? Wide receivers might go there to die. We saw Julio Jones went to die. Didn't Andre Johnson also go there? And
he did.
Yeah, both of them old at that point too, when they got there.
I don't know, but D-Hop didn't look old last year when he played. When he came back, it didn't matter if it was Kyler, Colt McCoy, fucking Trace McSorley. This dude was fucking pulling balls down.
Well, he's played with bad quarterbacks his whole life. Whole life he's played with bad quarterbacks. But he is 31 years old now, something like the cliff happens out of like the year before. Julio Jones was still a pretty good wide receiver. So it could happen that quick, or it's just like they're just not a high volume passing attack, and he loses a little bit of that volume and kind of throws it off. And Treylon Burks maybe is more equal to him, and you're getting him way, way later. So, yeah. But yeah, those are my busts.
It used to be the story for the Chicago Bears. Let's hope so. Let's hope so. DJ Moore, Darnell Mooney, Chase Claypool. We had Brandon Marshall and Alshon Jeffrey.
I was going to say the Marshall Jeffrey era was pretty.
It was great. That tandem was fucking incredible. Alshon Jeffrey Brandon Marshall was a stud, but Alshon Jeffrey for a second round pick, man, I love that dude.
We're forgetting Moose. He was like the wide receiver 1 on the Super Bowl team, man.
Muhammad. Yeah, who Bernard Berry.
Yep. I was going to say him too.
That was it.
But the Jeffries, man, that offense was they could cook that
offense.
It
was fun. Yeah, dude. Yeah, Color. It was Color.
Greg Olsen that they should have never traded.
Matt Forte in the backfield, dude. Earl Bennett is their number 3. That was a good offense, dude. Good offense. Now that we just went on that little tangent right there. Yeah.
That's it. Look at that. We did it 120, just like last week. Even with Siri playing music and taking me out of the equation. We nailed it. See?
Yeah, I was surprised we were able to rip through them in an hour and 20. There's so many wide receivers, man. But we definitely did it, dude. We definitely did it.
That leaves us time for a commercial.
Oh,
that's why I wore the shirt, the NWO Wolfpack shirt. Because if you haven't seen, you can go to bloodlinenetwork.com. You can was it on there now too? Either way, you can go to the YouTube page. Right, you can see right. Probably watching us there. And you can watch Maddie Daddy. He's back. Your favorite fantasy football personality that sounds like a bona fide wrestler himself is back. And he's joining us. We've talked about it before. You knew he was coming from Monday night. Once again, we will be going live at halftime. We could stick around longer than halftime. We're just going to start at halftime. We'll try to be quick. We're just going to recap basically what we saw all day Sunday in the first half of Monday night. Things that stuck out more so. Big nights, little nights, guys that are stinking, all that kind of stuff, whatever. It'll be there Monday night. But either way, he's here now. You can go watch his videos. He's back with his world famous shorts and player breakdowns that he's bringing back to the Roto slappers. He's back.
Yeah, but whose side is he on? What are you talking about? Whose side is he on? What are you talking about? Yes, sir! Get him, Hogan! Go get him, baby! Come on and get some of this now. Who's bad now, boys? Hulk Hogan arrived. Hook.
Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
He's back. He's back. By the way, Devin makes an appearance too in that. If you haven't noticed yet, I got him in there also for this fun commercial to break the news. But yeah,
that was awesome, bro.
Oh, more
awesome.
Breaking news. Wait, hold on. If you're gonna do this,
ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story.
Go ahead. Now you can do it. That's your job. You do this one.
Yeah, man, right there, dude. Breaking news. We are extending our merch sale from the Bloodline Entertainment Network. We got so much stuff. You go to bloodlinenetwork.com/merch. We got t-shirts. We got tank tops. We got kids' clothes. We got baby clothes. We got coffee mugs. As my boy Devin always says, get your ass off the hot sand. Because what do we got? We got motherfucking beach towels. We got it all. bloodlinenetwork.com/merch. Devin, should I do it? I'll do it. For your pleasure. Oh, see, I can't do it like Devin, but that was just for you. That was just for you, my guy. Thanks
Go
for
get it. I got
right.
myself the red tank. So I'm going to join you. I'm going to do some suns out, guns out with the red tank, the chest hair showing.
I was surprised you didn't wear it tonight, honestly, dude. I was looking for mine. I couldn't find it in the fucking closet. I looked for like 20 minutes. I was like, man, if Streets is rocking his, I got my guns out, you know.
It hasn't came in yet. I got it. The sale's extended, but I got mine during the SummerSlam sale. The SummerSlam sale. Yeah, say that 4 times. SummerSlam sale. The big SummerSlam sale. That's where I got mine. But yeah, but now it's extended, so you can get it too. So go get yourself the red tank.
Hell yeah. Great merch. Great merch. And again, we appreciate everyone who tuned in. The comments were awesome. Courtney, appreciate you doing what you do. We had Kayla in here, Tribal Chief, Dylan, Justin, appreciate all you guys so very much. KPG, appreciate you, my dude. Tino from Tino's Time. Go check out Tino's Time. This kid is live 7 days a week, 24/7. Check out Tino's Time for sure. Doing great things over there, man. Appreciate the chat so very much. That red is fucking fire. Yeah, that red is hot. I love that red. And Streets, before we get out of here again, I want to thank everybody who was in the chat, everyone who will watch, everyone who will listen. As always, you can find Roto Slappers live Monday nights, 8 o'clock, right here on the Bloodline Entertainment Network. But while you're still here, please go ahead and like this video. Please go ahead and hit that subscribe button for more content just like this. Fire content all day. We got sports, we got wrestling, we got entertainment, we got gaming. Destiny 2. First Lady's dropping her stuff. First Lady's going live on Twitch in like 45 minutes. So get over here. I think she's playing Last of Us tonight. Go on there and see what First Lady's got going on. And then like on Sunday, it'll be uploaded right here. We got so much great stuff going on. And you don't just got to watch, you can listen. Put Bloodline Entertainment Network into your search bar. Spreaker, Spotify, Apple Music, iHeart. Wherever you get your audio, we're there. And when you do that, what's the best? The best of all, BloodlineNetwork.com is going to come up. All of my boys' articles on there. All his fantasy football rankings, his busts, his breakouts, his sleepers, everything he does fantasy football related that he provides right here on Roto Slappers. He's got some written content, so go over to BloodlineNetwork.com. Additionally, sports, wrestling, entertainment, all our videos, all our audio, and our merch, everything that we do under one roof at BloodlineNetwork.com. Streets, it's been a fucking blast. Appreciate you, brother.
Nope, thank you. Yeah, thanks for joining me. We've broke down 100 now running backs and wide receivers for you. I hope you use this as a great tool for you because draft season is here. Like the text messages are going out in all of my leagues at this point. We're getting dates lined up, picking this out, and I'm sure your leagues are doing the same thing. So now's the best time to draft prep, and there's no better place to do it than right here on the Bloodline Entertainment Network. Tim and I will do our best to get you to your fantasy championship. And thank you for watching. We appreciate it as always. We know you have many, many options when it comes to your fantasy traveling needs. We thank you for flying with the Roto Slappers, though. And yeah, we'll see you next week. Next week, I think I'm not sure just yet, but I think next week we're going to do a mock draft.
Yeah, we should.
I think so.
We need a mock draft.
With surprises. There's going to be a few surprises on this mock draft. It's not going to just be us. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, that's fun.
That's kind of my surprise that I'm trying to. We'll see how it goes. This is why in the industry, you always do slow drafts, 8-hour clocks, because everybody all over the globe and nobody can line up on the same night to do it. So sometimes it's a little tricky to do a mock draft, but working on getting a few people to come join us for this one. But it'll be time to do it's a little mock draft season now. So that's what we're going to do. And yeah, we'll see you then. Thank you. See you next week.